Hey guys, Outlaw Curtis here from HoldSquare.com, just with kind of an impromptu little podcast. Now, normally when I do these podcasts, I do them with Brett Weiss, my friend and author of several video game books and so forth. As you guys know, he's a genius when it comes to all that kind of stuff. But I want to do a short 15 to 20 minute podcast today that really doesn't have anything to do with old school gaming and so forth. The primary purpose of this is just to talk about some restructuring that's going to be going on within the Reapers and within HoldSquare itself, and talk about the future of HoldSquare and kind of where I see this thing going and leading. But before we can do that, we kind of have to talk about the past a little bit. So hopefully, I know some of you have some questions and so forth. I'm going to keep this video to about hopefully 15 to 20 minutes. I don't want to ramble on too much. So if there's still questions after this, obviously, anytime you can grab me in a PSN chat if I'm online, shoot me a PSN message, whatever. But the bottom line is, about a year ago, I had kind of had a vision for where I wanted to take HoldSquare. And at the time, all we really did was we were a community, a forum, which was awesome. It was great, but I thought we could do so much more than that. And we could add things like podcasts and interviews with people and broadcasting and all these other things on top of what we were already doing as a community for 6 years. So we had a meeting at the time with the people that were in leadership, and I was like, hey guys, I want to kind of paint a picture here of what I want to do moving forward, and kind of gave out these ideas. Pretty much everyone seemed to be on board. You know, hey, that's cool, sounds great. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to basically split the resources, the financial resources. Now, we get financial resources in a couple different ways. One, we have ads on the site, so we make money on the ads on the site. As you guys can see, there are Google AdSense ads on our site. We also sell Reaper merchandise, which a lot of you have purchased, and we make some off of that as well. And then we also have a donation button. And just like millions of internet sites have donation buttons. So if you want to support, you know, this stamp collecting site, or if you want to support this gun collecting site, or this coin collecting site, or this sewing site, whatever, not just gaming, you know, click here and you can donate 10 bucks because I love your forum or whatever. So we're no different. After the first couple of years, we added a donation button and started accepting donations, and those are the funds we used for contests and giveaways and paying for the website and software and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, in this meeting, I said from now on, what I want to do is I want to split the funds that come in. So at the time, we had roughly around $1,100 total as HoldSquare. And so basically, we split that. So from that point forward, every dollar that came in, 50 cents would go towards supporting the forum, which means giveaways and maintaining the forum and doing everything that's kind of forum specific, right? Then the other 50% of that would be to really bumping up our front page. And what I mean by that is doing some cool Reaper podcasts, doing interviews, and so forth and so on. Well, obviously, both of those sides are not free. They require money to do those things. So on the Reaper side, the money, the forum side, we were spending that money on contests and giveaways and things of that nature, and the monthly forum bill and things like that. And so of that $1,100, $550 was left for that side, and I kind of I managed that as well. But I also allowed kind of Gracie and some of the other people in leadership to manage that as well. And then I managed the front end, which was the website, doing the podcast, getting equipment, which we needed, high-def webcams and all different kinds of audio-visual equipment and all these other kinds of things. And so at the time, a couple months after, a couple people kind of got miffed because they saw us that we had split this money up and exactly where's this money going and stuff like that. And my initial thought was kind of one to push back. I was like, well, we're doing it for the forum. I mean, we've always done things for the forum to try to make things better. We've always improved websites. We've gotten bigger and better websites. We've had bigger and better contests and giveaways. So why do you care where every penny goes to? And so several people, and those of you that were around over a year ago, know, left and kind of did some stuff on our website and kind of made a pretty harsh exit, so to speak, because they didn't agree with it. And so the whole thing was they were wanting me to make this whole transparency post about where every dollar goes and all that kind of stuff, and put that out in the public forum and so forth. And initially I pushed back on that, and I was like, no, there's no way. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be bullied into doing that. I don't see a reason to do it. I founded the Reapers. I essentially own the domain, own the website. I'm the owner of the website itself. And so, you know, I'll give generalities and say, hey, you know, we just got a new webcam. Here it is. But as far as posting copies of receipts and things like that, that's what I have to do for tax purposes. I got kind of pushed into a corner where I said, fine, I'll make this post just to kind of quiet everyone down. And the bottom line is I didn't. I gave it a lot of thought, and I don't remember what month this was exactly, but I gave it a lot of thought, and I talked to several different people. I talked to a friend of mine that's a CFO at a company. I talked to a tax attorney. I also talked to someone within the Reapers that owns their own business and kind of got counsel from 3 or 4 different people. I also talked to 2 different people that run their own websites. And after talking to all of them, the kind of overwhelming thing was that posting financial information that way was a bad idea. And the reason is you open it all up for debate. So I kind of changed my mind after that. I know I said I was going to do it, but then everyone was saying, look, Curtis, you need to run this like a business. And businesses don't post that kind of stuff. Not privately owned businesses. We're not a Fortune 500 company with stockholders and things like that. You've got to start running this as a business. And so if you put on there that you spent $237 on a high-def camera, then you're going to have 1 or 2 people that are going to pipe up and say, hey, why did you spend money on that? You shouldn't have spent money on that. That's not money to be spent, you know, in a worthwhile manner to benefit the Reapers. Or why did you spend $125 on t-shirts to give to the guys at Gearbox when you did an interview with Randy Pitchford? So all these little things, when you start posting that stuff, you open it all up to debate. And that's not what the Reapers are about. We're about one thing, gaming. That's it. That's all we're here for. So that's why we've always tried to make it completely clear and obvious, just like most of these, any of these other websites you see out there. If there's a donate button or a support button, it is completely non-obligatory. You are not required to do it. We'll never have any membership fees. We'll never do anything like that. Now, Jordan and Gracie pulled me into a group chat a couple of days ago and told me, and I'm not going to speak for them. If you want to speak for them, you know, hear their side of it, I'm going to try to be as honest and accurate as possible. They were really frustrated with me that I had not ever made that post. And I kind of told them why I had never made that post. I don't have problems telling people that, you know, that I bought, you know, a license to DBA and I used some of the money to, I'm going to cover up the number here, but hopefully you can see that it says HoldSquare and it's a business account down there. I don't want y'all stealing any numbers, but I opened a HoldSquare business account. And just recently, finally, which I've been putting off, I've started the process to register this as a sole proprietorship LLC. So it'll really change nothing as far as most members are concerned, but it's going to allow me to run the back end of it like a business needs to be run. There's a reason that a lot of gaming sites don't last very long and communities don't last very long because they don't run things like a business. They don't run it in a smart way. Just like when we were in DCU 5-6 years ago, hot and heavy, virtually none of those communities are around anymore. And that's because they didn't run things in a certain way. Now, each one is individual and different people get busy and so forth. But the bottom line is a lot of the leadership, all the leadership, stepped down, was very frustrated because I never made that post. And basically because really, to be honest, I haven't been holding up my end of the bargain the last few months. I haven't been around. I started a new job. And so my time has been really limited. Just a couple of weeks ago, you can probably tell, if you can tell from my crooked nose here, I had a concussion. I suffered a concussion at work, had a seizure, broke my nose, and was pretty scarred up and stuff. So I wanted to wait until you can still see right here one of the scars and right here. And you can think, gosh, how could Curtis get any uglier? Well, it's possible. Trust me. Last week, if you had seen the pictures, you would know what I'm talking about. But anyway, the bottom line is that kind of from this point forward, what I'm going to do is we have to restructure the Reapers in a different way. And what I mean by that is, first of all, our forum isn't even used very much. I mean, anytime you log on our forum, and forums in general are dying. There's like a few forums out there that have a ton of activity, but people just don't use forums anymore. the way people communicate now are through, you've got blogs out there, which we're working on a new blog, which I hope to have running in a couple of months. Facebook, Twitter, GroupMe, those are the ways that we're going to be communicating for the next couple of months. So basically what I'm going to do is go ahead and close down the forum. Now you'll still be able to see it, but we just won't have any more posting or any more updates on it, because really I'm going to phase out that part of it. And the new blog, which should be up hopefully in the next few weeks or month or two, I don't want to put a date on it because I have a full-time job, just like I know most of you guys do too. So I don't want to make any crazy promises here that I can't keep up with. The only thing I can say is that in the future, we're not even going to accept donations anymore, because I don't want money to ever be an issue again, because I don't care about money. If we have 10 reapers and 10 good reapers, then that's all I care about. I don't care if we get 10,000 or 50,000 members. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. But at the end of the day, all I care about is that we have good members and good people. And that I happen to be the owner of the website. Every website has someone's name on the deed. Everyone owns the domain to their particular website. But I'm always listening to members. I'm always trying to do what the community wants, because if I don't, what happens? You guys have the ultimate power. If you don't like the website, if you don't like the Reapers, you have the ultimate power. You leave and you go to another place. It's just like a restaurant or a club. You go to that restaurant or club, as long as you have fun there, as long as you enjoy it, it's got a good positive atmosphere. And I still believe in the Reaper Code. I still believe in teamwork, respect, attitude, fun, and communication. I believe that in my daily life, my everyday life, not just in gaming. So for those of you that want to stick around and be a part of that, I'm going to do the best I can. That's all I can say. I'm going to try to restructure this in a way to where it's easier for us to communicate on our mobile devices. I'm going to try to use, now that this is going to be a sole proprietorship and an LLC, it is going to end up being for profit, so there is going to be profit involved. It's not very much now, it's pennies every month, but everything that comes in is going to be continually used to support the site. Now, what does support the site mean? It can mean any of 1,000 different things. Ultimately, I'd love to have Reaper staff. I'd love to pay Reaper staff to write articles every day, just like IGN does, just like Destructoid does, but we're not anywhere close to that yet. Not anywhere close. But the bottom line is, now I've already had to file tax paperwork. I've gotten bank accounts. I've done all these other things to take care of the money. The people that step down now hopefully will stay in the Reapers, just because they didn't want to be in leadership. I believe Jordan and Gracie are still going to stay in the Reapers. I love them to death. They have been so instrumental in helping us get to where we're at. I hope they stay. I hope everyone in leadership that steps down stayed. If I could go back and do a couple things differently a year ago, I would have, but I can't. So what I've got to do now today is either completely just shut down the Reaper, shut down the website, shut down everything, and just say screw it all, or I need to try to do what I feel is the right thing. And after talking to a lot of you the last few days, a lot of you want me to keep going with this. So I'm going to try to do that. The new website, again, we won't even accept donations on the new website. So the only way that you'll be able to support the Reapers is by clicking on our advertisers, by buying merchandise if you choose to. But there will also be a Patreon button, which will be on the new website. So if you're not familiar with Patreon, I encourage you to go to patreon.com, patreon.com, and it basically lets you be a patron of a site. So if there's a site that produces anything, podcasts, or a community you like, that you want to support them, you can click on that and say, you know what, I want to give these guys $1 a month, or $5 a month, or a one-time $10 or whatever. But it's spelled very clearly in there that that is a source of income for that website. And again, no money will ever be required of any Reaper for any reason. So we're going to keep doing contests and giveaways as we're able to. We're going to give away all these raffle prizes that I have sitting right here that I still have to give away, and this gearbox thing I have to give away. We're still going to do what we do, and hopefully this won't make a big impact on our gaming in general. And the bottom line is this has to stay fun. And if it stops being fun, we're going to stop doing it. And so from this point forward, hopefully we can start having fun again with this and not getting to the point where people are getting frustrated and angry about things that should not be an issue. So anyway, I hope you'll be patient. Next couple of months, I'm going to be trying to do some restructuring of some things. A lot of this I'm going to have to do by myself, so I'm not the biggest tech wizard in the world, as some of you already know, but I'm going to be trying to restructure some of this stuff and then hopefully get us back on track and continue this thing and see where it leads. And the worst thing that can happen is that it doesn't work or it fails. But I've never done anything in life because I was scared. I've never not tried something because I was afraid, because I feel like if you really enjoy something enough, you can do it. And so I'm going to keep trying to do it. And if anybody has any more questions whatsoever, please let me know. Contact me. I'm going to touch on this briefly in the podcast next week with Brett, but we're not going to make this a big long-term deal. If people want to talk about it in GroupMe, we can talk about it in GroupMe for a while. That's totally fine. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. Hopefully some of this has been cleared up in exactly what happened and how some of these funds have been used, what some of these funds are going to be used for in the future, and hopefully we can just all get back to having fun. So anyway, I will see you guys next time, and thanks for watching. Take it easy. This is Curtis from the Death Star.